What's up, everybody? Man, this is really my first time doing this, so man, I hope y'all enjoy it. Uh, I hope I enjoy myself. Pause. I'm obviously going to break down these Dallas Cowboys. I've been a fan for man since I was a kid. Obviously, there's been some changes that have happened going into this season. My name is I haven't figured that out yet. That's the beauty of this journey for me right now. But we're gonna get straight to these Cowboys. This is J Kim Productions, and man, this has been an interesting season, or an interesting off season for us in Dallas because we have. I feel like for the first time, we have actually got to see Dallas make decisions that we don't normally see them make ever. If you're a fan of this game, not just the game, but just the team, if you're a fan of the team, if you're a fan of uh, the history of Dallas, you have paid attention to how we operate in the offseason. We typically don't make a lot of changes, make a lot of trades. We typically don't dip in free agency too heavy. We may sign a few free agents, but they're typically uh, low number. They're a second, third string guy. We may grab a decent player out of free agency, but we really don't spend a whole lot of money. We've for a while we've really stuck to the draft, I would say. And so to see Dallas make these moves right now, through this free agency period, it makes me wonder how frustrated they were losing to the 49ers. And not even so much as far as the players themselves. What I'm really saying is the the front office, because in fairness, I feel like this is the best team that we had. Now, when I say best team, I mean like overall, this was the best team that I feel like we had going into the playoffs. Probably, in my opinion, man, I would say the year Tony Romo, his last year with DeMarco Murray. I know how crazy that sounds for a lot of people when I say that. I can think about people driving down the street and hearing me say this and go, fuck no. Like, no, it just, I get it. I understand completely that there would be some, and definitely some indifferences or some differences in regards to opinion there, just because we've had a few teams since then, but I don't know if we have just looked ready to win the way we did this year. And I think for fans, players, management alike, this last season was a letdown. It just was. I mean, we've had several, obviously, but man, this one hurt a little different. It just did. It had a different impact. I'm gonna go ahead and address the room because I already know if anybody would be watching the stream, they would see a number 21 behind me. What you don't know is that I have Des Bryant on this wall, and I have my different my Cowboy, my Micah Parsons, my Emmitt Smith, my uh my actually I had a Jason Witten jersey, like, but I had to get that picture of Dion. I just thought I thought Mans was different, not only just for the Cowboys, but for the 49ers as well. That's why he's back there. But man, these Dallas has done something different this year in free agency. Now, obviously, they've been restructuring a bunch of contracts throughout the team, including Dak. There was an attempt to restructure with Zeke, and man, I gotta be honest with y'all, that hurt. That one, it didn't hurt necessarily losing Zeke the player, more so of he's like a culture piece. He's an anchor. There was something about having Zeke in that backfield. As crazy as it sounds, in short distance, that I just felt comfortable knowing that we were going to get that first down. I felt comfortable in the goal line situations that there was a really good chance we were going to score. And that's not even talking about prime Zeke. I'm just talking about these last few seasons. Like, yeah, he was only averaging, I think it was 58 yards a game, something around that degree. But at the same time, man, he was a nice piece to have as a Cowboy. I hope that piece doesn't sting too much because, as a blocker, there was a lot of things Zeke did for us that I think were not really numbers that you're going to see as far as stats when you look up a guy's numbers, like his blocking aspect. I just felt like he was an anchor to that offense in a way. But I feel like we had a good team. I feel like a lot of people feel like Dallas had a good team, and it sucked to watch them lose to the 49ers. It just did. It just is what it is. But I'm excited to I don't know if I'm excited or nervous about some of the decisions we've made in free agency because this is new. As Cowboy fans, I can't think of a time that they have been this active in free agency the way they have been this year. Free agency and trades, might I say. Losing Dalton Schultz to the Texans. I know a lot of people, I've read comments that have said that Dalton Schultz wasn't that big of a deal. I'm going to tell y'all right now, he was a big deal. He was ranked top 4 or 5 when it came to tight ends for the majority of his career in Dallas. That man was a young, up-and-coming Jason Witten for us. He just was. That's not a small piece to give up. Yes, we've got 2 great tight ends that are going to fill a role. 2 really good tight ends that are going to fill a role. But Dalton Schultz, another tough piece. Dallas did a lot of restructuring, but I guess the real question that I kind of have for people is, what are your thoughts about free agency and some of the decisions that we've made? Because when you look at Dallas, man, it's crazy to think that we picked up Brandon Cooks and Gilmore in the same offseason one. Like, how often do we even make decisions like that? Now, I do think that both of these trades benefit us. I'm going to be honest, when it comes to Gilmore and the success that he brings to the teams, up in the air for me. He's still ranked, I believe, in the top 5 corners as far as being a shutdown corner. Like, it's not like the guy has just completely lost a step. I think people get lost behind highlights. Everyone saw the play against Justin Jefferson where Justin Jefferson, I think, runs like a zig route, something to that degree, when Gilmore's with the Colts. And so people see that play and go, oh, well, maybe he's lost a step. Like, bro, that's one play out of 1,000 that he played all season, but he's raw. And having him next to Diggs is going to be interesting because I actually think this puts more pressure on Diggs than it does Gilmore. I mean, everyone knows how Diggs likes to play. He's a gambler. That's how he plays corner. He's gambling out there on defense, which makes it interesting. Which makes what he does interesting. The addition of Gilmore, and dependent on how our defense plays. Leighton Vander Esch re-signed. That's another big piece, a 2-year deal. As long as he's healthy, that's a nice piece for us to have. Tony Pollard, getting a franchise tag. I'll be honest, I'm on the fence with that. I'm on the fence because as much as I am a defender and I desire that people get paid for the work they have done and that their value should hold the same based on what they have done. I'm a cowboy. I'll be honest. I'm a Cowboy fan first. Just am. And for me, I would much rather. I don't know. I'm not sure if I wanted Dallas to pay that money for a guy that just, if I'm not mistaken, broke his leg. There's hope and there is confidence that he's going to come back and not lose a step and any of those things. But, man, we've seen it in the NFL time and time again. Now, I do think the franchise tag is a definite benefit to us, but we'll see how that plays out. Ronald Jones, we get this running back. He's played for the Chiefs and the Buccaneers. Dallas gets him on a 1-year deal. I'm not sure if that's going to be a full replacement for Zeke. It's still kind of yet to be seen. It wouldn't surprise me if we still draft for a running back. I'm not sure if we kept Malik Davis or not. That's something I'm just going to have to look up. The addition of keeping Donovan Wilson, I didn't think that we would lose him in free agency. To be honest, I think there's a lot of decent safeties in the NFL. A lot of people may argue me on that take, but I think there's a lot of decent safeties in the league, and he even if he would have attempted to step out in free agency, I just don't think the market would have done anything ridiculous to get him. He was great for us. He was great for Dallas. He was absolutely great for Dallas, especially last season. Oh man, him and Kurtz were. If you understand football to any degree, there's no way you watch those games and did not see the success that, as crazy as Michael Parsons has been, as much success as we've had with Michael Parsons, man, our two safeties, those guys were balling this year. Those guys were balling this year. Cooper Rush comes back on a 2-year deal. There was the big prediction. I kind of was one of them that thought that after him winning a few games that he would advance and get to a different maybe play on a different team, maybe go to the Texans, maybe get a shot. Depending on this Lamar situation and how this plays out. I thought there may be a market for him for at least a shot. Maybe not necessarily a starter, but at least a shot. I've always said the thing I hate the most is like we always hear the back end of stories when it comes to professional sports. I would love to see what the market was really like for Cooper Rush. The guy had a really good 4 or 5 game window. And then, man, that Eagles game, he legit looked flustered. It wasn't even about the pressure or any of those things. He just looked flustered in that game. Which I'm going to tell you what I will always say as just as I speak on the show is that I'm always a little cautious with how I judge players because the first thing I always say is I am not on that field. I am not looking at Fletcher Cox at defensive tackle running at me full speed and trying to make a decision on if I should throw it to CD Lamb or our the guy that was fourth string, now second string receiver in Noah Brown, just because Gallup couldn't stay completely healthy all season. Tough job. That's a tough job. I'm just curious what the market was like for him because I thought he played well enough. I put it this way: if you're old enough and you remember guys like Kevin Cobb, they play 2 or 3 games and look incredible, and then get these massive contracts. This must be a great draft of quarterbacks that we have coming because I thought at the time Cooper Rush had an opportunity somewhere. If not staying in Dallas. I didn't really like the debate back and forth in regards to Cooper Rush and Dak, even though I was a little bit a part of it, I'll admit it. I didn't really like the debate between what quarterbacks should start. I will tell you where I stood. Where I stood was let the guy finish the season. That's how I felt about Cooper Rush. Let the guy finish the season. Finish for his team. Let Dak just get healthy, sit out a season. Let's just see what we can do. I I like the switch up. I just do. Now, once we got Dak back, then it was like, okay, yeah, I can see the importance of Dak, like, which I did prior, to the Cooper Rush, um, prior to Cooper Rush starting for the team. But Dallas picked up Brandon Cooks at receiver. I know I spent time on Gilmore, but Brandon Cooks has quietly been a decent receiver. Well, I guess I can't really say quietly as many times he's kind of either demanded for a trade or requested to be moved at some point, or a team just bails on him. The Patriots get him, trade him. The he was on the Texans prior. He's looking to get out of that situation. I feel like half the guy's career he just hasn't been happy based on the team that he's on, and it has a lot to do with him. From what it seems like, if they're just not winning, don't have the pieces, whatever it may be. But he's been a good receiver in the NFL, and no, I don't. I'm not like most people. I don't think that Brandon Cooks is just this huge pickup that Dallas made, but it is significant for sure. I'm not sure if we've ever had a receiver similar to Brandon Cooks. Maybe the furthest back, just far as style. And everyone's gonna have their own opinion. I don't know, Patrick Creighton, maybe. Shoot, you can go as far back as guys like Joey Galloway, but I don't know if he's Joey Galloway. Joey Galloway was fun to watch, even as a kid. But this is a nice pickup. So I guess the real question is, what do we do in the draft? What are we looking at in the draft? And then what's going to change in our offense without Zeke, without a really good tight end that I know a lot of people are sleeping on, but that was a really good tight end. The removal of Kellen Moore and Dak coming back at the helm. healthy for this next season. Man, that's pretty much going to be the show for me. I I may do some of these ever so often. No, this is something that I'm just trying to get into. I've been podcasting for a while, but it's mainly on a very minimal level. Um, I would say public, but it's not really public because it's really more personal for some of the shows that I was doing. But damn it, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. This is personal. I'm a Cowboy fan, so this is personal. Man, I hope y'all enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.